Welcome to the Riff Nation Network, the RNN. Putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Well, hello. That was weird. I was waiting to watch the intro and I saw myself. I'm like, whoops. Whoopsie. What planet can I blame that on? Now, I can't blame it on a planet. I'm going to blame it on my finger for messing up on letting go of the button too soon. I can't blame that on Mercury. Hello, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Riff Nation Network and Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. I am your host, Joni Skinner. Welcome. Come on in, friends, on a lovely Wednesday true crime evening on the Rift. I am excited to let you all know that we now are podcasting on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and one more. Google, I believe. Let me see. I put it on the ticker. But now we are back on podcasts. Amazon, my bad. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and iHeart Podcasting. Thank you, Ryan, for setting that up. I'm excited to be podcasting again. You know, when I started, we were on Blog Talk Radio, and we didn't do the vidcasts. So you could get up and wander around. You could eat. You could just do whatever you want because people couldn't see you. So, I'm excited to be back podcasting. I love it. I loved Blog Talk Radio. So this is exciting. I will have to be a little bit more descriptive with when we look at charts and maps for our podcasting, our new podcasting family. So welcome, podcasters. Welcome. So we are streaming live, as you all know, on video, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Rumble. So please hit share, like, and all of that stuff. Thank you, Keith. Oh, thank you, Ed Odell. Thank you. I love love your intro. Yeah, when I can get it right and I'm not screwing it up. I was thinking of your true crime cards after seeing your intro. You know what, Cindy? Thank you for reminding me. Remember from the Reckoning Company, I have that deck of tarot true crime cards. I will bring those in next week. Let's bring those in with the case next week. I forgot all about them. Thank you for reminding me. It's that Libra stellium, Cindy. I mean, I have been working on the Virgo North Node. I'm trying to get organized, trying to get things in order for the eclipse. Hello, chat. How is everybody tonight on this Wednesday? Checking in. Hello, Miss Lee, Miss Crystal. There's so many great astrologers in the chat. Cindy, Ruru, Denise, Crystal. This is the astrologer group tonight. Miss Lee, True Crime Miss Lee. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Also, tell Summer to stay away. Send cold weather to Florida. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy, for that batch of our Canadian air. It is amazing. It is so amazing to have weather that is so cool. And it's fall. I took my I have bees like for decorations out in the front. The bees are gone. I am putting all the pumpkins out already. I know people are going to look at me like you're crazy, but that's okay. Miss Lee, I'm the dreamer. Lee is like as a PI. She works on cases. Ooh, I shouldn't say that. Well, she does. She does a lot of cold cases. Lee loves the older the cold case. Lee will text me and say, "Hey, I'm working on this case. It's from 1930." Oh, okay. We can really get a timestamp from 1930, Lee. I'm kidding. Maybe the oldest one is about 62. We can get a timestamp. I've done a lot of Lee's cold cases. So she's quite the PI. Oh, I will, Denise. Thank you for reminding me, Cindy. Bring those cards back. I will. I'll bring them back next week. Yes, need to pull some of those cards. I will, you guys. I will bring this back next week. And you know what? I will also figure out. Remember, I had the 2 cameras. I had the camera down for the cards, and I also had the camera for the chart. So I will have to figure that out as well. She does. She's very passionate with cold cases. Very passionate. Lee, that's fascinating on the cold cases. She has some real. I would love to have her on sometime to talk about her cold cases, but for a forensic astrologer who needs timestamps, and we have to have them accurate. Rue can attest to this. But I wish we had timestamps for cold cases because we could solve a lot of them. We could solve them with forensic astrology. Back then they didn't have the DNA, but the good thing with eclipse season coming up, the great thing about eclipse season is we find missing cold cases. So your cold cases, Lee, put those out there in the universe because during eclipse season, September 7th, September 21st, people are found. Don't ask me why. Eclipses spotlight everything. Hi, Maureen. I finally found you. Yes, great. Wonderful. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. I hope y'all are doing well this wonderful Wednesday evening. And for people here in the States, I hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend. Those long weekends go by way too fast. Way too fast. I hope you all are doing well. Please, our friends from Canada, just keep going out to, just keep sending it down. It's sending it down. 70-degree weather. 65, 70 this next week. Okay, here we go. Here, Miss Lee, here we go. I have to let you know something. And wow, so I helped the lady zone an area. Then I told her to come to you and not share my area. And you, Joni, sent your chart matching my area. The mom was in awe. Oh, okay. I don't know which one you're talking about, Lee. You'll have to tell me. Thank you, Ryan. And everybody give Ryan a huge thank you shout out because we are now on Spotify. Like we said, Ryan set that up. Thank you so much for doing that. I loved podcasting. I love it. I loved Blog Talk. It was great because you could goof off. You could still talk on the radio and goof off, but you can't do it with a camera. So, like I said, we are on Spotify now. So if you podcast, and I listen to podcasts at work. I'm a big podcaster at work. So definitely check us out. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. I like iHeartRadio. So Matthew's case. I crap. Okay, I have to look. I for some reason, and I think it's eclipse season. I think I was working on 5 or 6 last week at one time. It just gets busy. You get swamped, and then you send them out, and then you just kind of take a little breather. But at eclipse time, it's when people contact you, and it's when people are found. I don't know why, Rue. Why is that true? Rue and I've been doing this for decades. I don't understand why. Well, hi, Miss Peggy. How's New Orleans doing? This year's moving so fast. I'll be in Italy in October. What a beautiful time to go. Have fun. Send us pictures of all those beautiful men in Italy. Whoops. Send us all those pics, Peggy. Take pics of them. The reason this year is moving so fast is because we have shifted. Welcome to the age of Aquarius, where we have shifted from earth and water the past thousands of years. We are now in fire and air. So get used to the speed. Mercury just went into Virgo. It will be out of Virgo in 2 weeks. It will be out of Virgo in 2 weeks and in Libra. Mercury is speeding right now, literally speeding. So I'm telling, it's crazy. It's crazy right now. And what I did is for the end of this, after the case we're going to look at, I put up some slides to show you guys why it's as crazy as it is astrologically. Also, a friend of mine asked me to look at the Democrat Party chart because she's just wondering what's going on. So I did it, and I was really surprised at this chart. It's an old chart, 1828, I think. It's very fascinating to see that the Democrat, I didn't do the Republican Party, but I will, just to kind of compare notes. But when you see this chart, you're going to be really amazed. And then I did a little bit of research, and they have lost, well, we'll get to it, but it's interesting. They've lost 4.6 million, 4.5 million voters. They have lost 4.5 million voters, and they only have $13 million in the bank. Now, for all of us, $1,300 in the bank is a lot of money, let alone 13 million. But I guess if you're a party, that's a lot. That's not a lot of money. The Republicans have 7 times more than they do, which is very unusual because they usually get donations. They usually outdo the Republicans in donations. They're now at 13 million. The Republicans are up at like 80 million. So we got to see what's wrong. And I'm going to show you what's happening. And I'm going to show you when it's going to stop and when things are it's clear as can be in the chart. It's fascinating. So let's get started, you guys, with our case for the evening. This was a weird, it was a hard, I almost did what happened in Minneapolis. We have covered so many cases in Minneapolis this year with the church situation that we all are just devastated over with these children. I kind of want to see if there's a pattern amongst these young people that are doing this. So I thought I would look at the past 4 and kind of do a comparison study. So that's why I didn't pull up that chart for this week. But I'm going to work on it and we're going to see. Now, this particular case, and I think it kind of got lost in the shuffle of what happened in Minneapolis, because this particular case is from a small town in Madbury, New Hampshire. And the lady that you're looking at, her name was Emily Long. She was a young mother with 3 children, 8, 6, and a toddler, and she worked for a restaurant chain. She was a popular TikToker. Okay, for those of us who watch TikTok, I didn't recognize her on TikTok, but she was very popular. Her husband, who was a school psychologist, was diagnosed with brain cancer. So she documented that on TikTok, which very popular. She was, talked about her feelings, what was going on with the kids and his treatment. She's a young woman. She's very popular. And nobody saw any of the signs, apparently. So what happened in the middle of the night on August the 18th, which is very recently, August 18th, in the middle of the night, let me see if okay, there's her little family, the kids and her husband, and she unalived him. He was in treatment. She unalived the boy and the girl, the 2 younger children, and left the toddler. The toddler was found on a check to see, because they did a check to see what was going on. The 2 children were ages 8 and 6, and she left her younger toddler. She then committed unaliving. This is unusual for a woman. This usually doesn't happen. She was very open about her feelings and the situation with him. But now there's a darker side to this story that is starting to come to the surface. So what happened? There she is with her husband. And there they are again with their children. What happened is she worked for a company that there's their lovely home in New Hampshire. It's a coastal town. She worked for this company called Wingsits. It is popular, I imagine, in the Northeast. And what happened is the owner, prior to her husband's diagnosis, the owner started to see some irregularities with money. So he spoke to her about it. He asked her to get some bank receipts, and she declined. Now he has come forward from Wingsit. He is the owner. $666,000 was embezzled. It's important to remember that this was done prior to her husband getting his diagnosis. Now, the CEO of the company, the owner, dropped all cases and stated, anything left, I'm not worried about it. I don't want it. I want it all to go to her surviving son. Now, I thought that was pretty amazing for a CEO of a company. The police, of course, have dropped all charges, but she was under investigation. So I thought it would be good to see what and where are there triggers in the chart. What happened? She did a TikTok. What happened? So the chart lights up when we see it. And I guess, and it's true, and Keith will tell you this too, whenever there are, of course, the planets don't do this. Their energy doesn't do this, but it can act as a catalyst for people, for individuals that have predispositions to situations in their lives with mental issues, or they're under stressors or triggers. So, and we know those, we can see those coming. And I even, like, I do the daily on Facebook. Every day I look at transits. If I know a kind of a rough transit's coming forward, I will say, okay, if you're in a crown and your intuition tells you to get out, get out. This can go ugly and turn ugly very quickly. Yes, there are triggers that astrologers can look at immediately. When we think of those, we look at Mercury. Why Mercury? Mercury rules the mind. So if your mind, you know, of course, I want to trigger people that aren't having stressors or have mental issues or problems. But if somebody has like a Uranus and a Mercury square, it's going on right now. Uranus is erratic. It can be erratic movements, erratic talk, anything unexpected. And sometimes that can be a trigger for somebody. So yeah, we spot them. We know when they're coming. We tell people. And I think it's important, if you know somebody in your family, or if you have a friend, check on them. If you know somebody in a family or a family member that's not taking medication like they're supposed to, or have issues, alert other family members. Hey, this can go on. Because just alerting somebody might be able to have somebody check on someone. Hey, are you, and especially now, and I'm going to show you why. But let's take a look at this chart on this night. Oops, which chart? Oh, I got the wrong chart. Wait a minute. I can't find her chart. Uh-oh. I don't know where the chart went. Let me see. Crap. I'm sorry, you guys. I thought her chart was on. I wonder if I can pull it up somehow. Here, Keith, you talk to everybody while I try to pull up this chart. We may not understand other people's triggers. What's normal for us may be detrimental for others. Yes. I don't know how to get this chart on here. Here's the chart. Crap. Okay, I wonder if I can hold it up. I'm going to hold it up and we'll talk about it. Well, that doesn't work because I can't see it. Okay, here we go. Here's the chart, and I'll pull it up next week. I don't know what, maybe it's, let's look down. Maybe I put it in the wrong place. Let me see. I want you guys to see this chart because it lit up. These are, okay, that's something else that I wanted to show you guys. That's the Democrat chart. Well, I'm going to hold this chart up and I will talk about it. How about that? And then I'll show it next week. I thought I put it on this slideshow. Okay, my bad. So what happened is we're going to look at her. Can y'all see that? And I'll show you more of it. Okay. So we look at the victims. We see Venus in the first house. See the pink? I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. So we got Venus in the first house. We have victims. right at the AC, and she's also the moon. Now, in the home, Libra, 2 or more victims. Okay. In the home, Mars. There's your trigger right there. I don't know if I can pull it up. This is on Google Slides, Denise. I don't know how else I can pull. You know what? Let me see if I can pull up something. I don't think I can. How about, oh, you mean minimize this picture and bring up the other picture. Okay, let's try that. Like, here, let's try that. Okay, Denise, I get what you're saying now. Okay, so how if I do, oh, it won't work. Let's try this. How about that? Okay, there we go. Okay, so see, there you go. Okay, there we go. So we've got victims, we've got Cancer, we've got Venus, which is mom. Cancer actually is the what's pretty. I found it ironic. Cancer is the sign of the mother. It's the mother, and Venus is right there. Look in the 4th house, the orange, Mars, violence, 2 plus victims. We had actually 4 in the home. 4th house is the home. Okay. Up there, connected to Saturn. Saturn represents her. She's the perp. There she is. They were out in the open. Okay. Mental issues with Neptune. Okay. Right there up at the midheaven, Chiron. Okay. Look at the 12th house. What is hidden? Gemini, 2 plus victims. So we've got indications in the chart. We've got 2 plus extra victims hidden. Uranus is your trigger right there with Pluto in the 8th house. Now, remember, unaliving is Uranus in it's Pluto in the 8th or Uranus in the 12th. That's a unaliving. So we've got those triggers. It's all there, every bit of it. Not only that, but we had Neptune and Saturn are in Aries, which that's fiery anyway. And there's so much going on right now. It's all there. Now, they said that this happened at 6 in the morning. When I did 6 in the morning, it was already done. This, I used 3 a.m. When I pulled up 3 a.m., it was all there. Look at that. Again, that's an event chart. Uranus. So what are our triggers? And I'm going to tell, so we know Mercury. Mercury is in the 2nd house. It's opposing or 180 degrees right across from Pluto in the 8th house. So what was the trigger? What was on her mind? Money. What do we know now? We know now that she had embezzled $666,000 and was caught. So I think, they don't know why this happened, but I think it's pretty obvious. If we're looking at the astrology, it's all there. Do y'all have any questions? Do you see that? So our triggers are, we look for Mercury because Mercury is the mind. It's opposing Pluto, which right there would be, Pluto is the underworld. Pluto is power. Pluto is deep. Any 8th house or 12th house has situations with the mind as well. Money I would say money would have been this trigger. because of Mercury in the mind. So very, very detailed. This chart is extremely detailed, Lee. This chart, Lee, tells a story like no other. They all tell stories. Some are better than others. That particular chart was just pretty amazing. That's right. Keith is 100% right. We may not understand other people's triggers. What's normal for us may be detrimental for others. That's true. Very, very true. So I think during this time, especially during eclipse season, things are explosive during an eclipse. Eclipses are full moons on steroids. And the one on September the 7th is a nice magical one. But the one on the 21st is going to be watched to navigate that one. That one is, we have Uranus in that one. When Uranus is involved, it's the crapshoot. It's erratic. It can be erratic. We don't know what can happen. So what is happening right now? This is the chart for right now, today, actually. Do you see? Okay, so we have purple arrows around what we are calling a magic triangle. Astrologers right now are talking about things that we've never seen. This is biblical. This is very, very, the heavens are very unusual for us right now. This particular magic triangle between Pluto, which is transformation, power. Pluto unearths things that we don't want to see. It's the underworld. Neptune, when it is in a high vibration, it is clairvoyance, it's magical, it's dreams, it's psychic ability. On a lower vibration, it is delusion. It's delusional. What's real? What's not real? What's illusion? And Uranus, which can be chaos. It's breakthroughs. It's busting through. This particular magic triangle will be with us on and off between now and 2029. It is very positive because they're all supporting one another, but it still makes it, sometimes you have to have chaos to get through things and bust through things. Pluto is transforming. It tears things down to rebuild. And then Neptune, is asking us to pull on our higher spirituality. That is what is happening right now. Now I'm going to go into a little bit more detail because it gets a little weirder. There are things, and what's happening is this magic triangle isn't going to move because they're all three right now are in retrograde. All three are at a very powerful degree. Look at that. They're all at 1 degree, all in retrograde, all at 1 degree. Now we've got Neptune and Saturn are together for something called a great conjunction. The last time these two were together, we have had Tiananmen Square in China. We had the Berlin Wall fall. Huge Earth events have occurred. Last time they were in Aries, we don't know at the 0 creator degree. We've never seen it. Back through everything, we don't know. We've never seen it before. These are all at very low degrees. So right now, for astrologers to act like they know what's going on, they don't. It's very positive, but you're turning every corner, looking again and studying. And this is a trigger for people that don't understand energy. So what Pluto is doing, we're going to add to this. There's Pluto up there at the top in Aquarius. Pluto's at the top left-hand side. That's Pluto, transformation. What Pluto is doing now is called out of bounds. Okay. He is not within the degrees of the sun's ecliptic. So, in other words, Big Daddy Sun, who rules everything, Pluto's out wandering around with rogue, no rules, on his own. Now, he can either be at a south declination or a north declination. When he is at a north declination, that energy is the leaders take over. It's power. It's top. It's the top power structures. This time around, Pluto, from now until 2030, in and out, on and off. Now, from now until November, Pluto is out of bounds. Then he'll come back into bounds. Then he'll go out of bounds. It's in a south declination. That is power to the people. The minute this went into south declination and out of bounds, okay, the minute this happened, we saw UK protests. We saw Australia protests. Now France. We are seeing uprisings right now everywhere around the world. This isn't going to stop. This is not only is Pluto in Aquarius, which is the collective. Aquarius wants everybody equal. It's all equal. Fairness. It's the future. Pluto doesn't, or Aquarius doesn't like rules. No rules. It's power to the people. It's the collective. So that's where Pluto is. And Pluto now is out of bounds, making him even stronger, which is more power to the people. So we've got from now until November, he's rogue and he's acting up. So that's in addition to everything else. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, when will Pluto go into the south declination again? Not for another 2,000, 3,000 years. So after 2030, it will not go out of bounds in the south declination for another 2,000 to 3,000 years. Get that. So if you didn't think that we weren't living in astrological, biblical times, astrologically, it's biblical. It just keeps developing. I mean, one thing after another, you cannot keep up with it. It's crazy. So Pluto's out of bounds, just doing what he wants. The moon goes out of bounds all the time. Oh, here we go. Pluto will not go out of bounds to the south for another 2,000 years. Pluto represents raw, unflinching honesty, and its out of bounds transit may force us to face some uncomfortable and disconcerting truths. So Pluto gets to the truth. Here we go. I'm telling you, it's going to be a wild eclipse. It will be, now this says 2035, it's 2030. It represents the last time we'll enter this phase for thousands of years. When it is out of bounds, its influence is amplified, leading to significant societal changes, revolutions, and shifts in power dynamics. It's associated with grassroots uprising and return to collective power from the masses. I think it's great. I think this is about as exciting as it gets to me. If you study astrology, it doesn't get any better than this. It's crazy. It's absolutely. So that'll give you a little bit of an idea. On Facebook, I tell people when there are trigger transits and how long they last. I don't come out and say, "Oh my God," I don't believe in fear, so I don't throw fear at people. But I do say, if you're in a crowd and you feel, always listen to your intuition anyway. But if your intuition's telling you to get out of that crowd, you get out and you get out quick, because usually these kind of transits and triggers, they hit very quickly, especially with Uranus, Mars, Mercury, Neptune is mental issues. Anything with the moon, because the moon is how you emotionally handle things. So let's we'll take a look quickly at the Democrat Party. And for our friends in Canada, we have two major political parties. We have Democrat Party and the Republican Party. So my friend asked me to look at this because it's like, to me, I feel like they've lost. There's no, it's like lost. Lost is the word I get. I'm not feeling them knowing their way. It's just kind of lost right now. Well, this is why. Democrat Party is an Aries rising. Aries risings right now, remember, this is a mundane chart. Aries rising is in a mundane chart is how people feel about them, what their physical appearance is, what people are feeling about them. Look at the purple arrow in the box that I put on the rising sign, which is the first house, is ruled by Aries. In their natal chart, Pluto, natal Pluto is at 4 degrees. So the Democrat Party has had that Neptune, Saturn, great conjunction sitting conjunct with Pluto for quite a while. It will turn exact and hit them exactly February 26th, 2026. But from now until then, it is now in retrograde. Those two planets, they are separating a little, but they're still together. So progressive politics is represented by Neptune. That's progressive thinking. Progressives, it's Neptune. Where Saturn is saying, no, you need to abide by the rules. So we have, and what is Pluto? Pluto is power. So there is a struggle to reconcile between the progressive end of them with practicality of Saturn. And this is the shifting that's occurring right now. This is what we're seeing with them. It's very, very apparent, I think. That's the main thing. Then, if you look, I drew a large green line, because the north node of the party, which is their destiny, their soul contract, what they came here in this incarnation, founded in 1828, what they came here to accomplish is in Pisces. The moon is 180 degrees, which is called in opposition, which is very harsh. The moon is the people of the party in the 6th house. Okay, we're going to watch that September 21st eclipse. You can see the green. I put a circle around the moon in the 6th house. The sun solar eclipse is going to hit that moon on the eclipse on the 21st. It will oppose the transit north node. It's hitting their moon. The sun is going to be conjunct in the eclipse. The solar eclipse is going to hit. The people are going to find out something hidden in the 12th house between September 21st and 6 months out. Solar eclipses illuminate things. 12th house, what is hidden. This chart is just screaming. In addition, the magic triangle is hitting them in the house of communications It's going to hit their rising sign, which is what people think of them. Progressive, but Saturn is going to be saying, no, you need to stick to the rules and stick to our structure. You're not going to go rogue. And then we have Pluto in the 11th house, out of bounds, rogue, collective. What's the 11th house in this chart? It is Congress. The 11th house in our chart, like it's parliament for some countries. In this house, it is considered Congress. So Pluto is up there smashing up Congress. They can't get the message out that they want, communicating with Gemini, because they're all over the place with Uranus and Gemini. And then you've got trying to find an identity with a progressive. And the people, which are opposed right to that, are like looking at it going, what? The people, that's why there's no money. And that's why they've lost 4.5 million voters. It's all there. So what do? They need to identify this crisis. They need an astrologer to say, okay, you need to find your footing, because if not, your people are opposing you right now. They don't like it. Isn't that funny? I was shocked when I saw this chart. I know I've got a ton of astrologers in here. So anybody else, do you guys want Rue? Anybody else? Crystal, Rue, Cindy, Denise, all my astrologers. Anybody else want to see? Do you guys see anything else? Oh, look at that. It's a Capricorn stellium too, which is very impressive for a Capricorn stellium in the 10th house, which is the president. That's an impressive natal chart. Being too restrictive on the people. Saturn, it opposes. The 4th house is the homeland. It's the people. It's the homeland. They're too restrictive. That's where they need to balance because of the Capricorn stellium up there. A stellium is 4 plus more planets in one sign: Mercury, Neptune, the Sun, and Uranus. And their midheaven, what the public sees, are all in Capricorn in the 10th house, which is actually very well for a president, and for a party, but it's opposing Saturn, the homeland. United States chart is a Cancer chart. If they have got to get this straightened out, they have got to get this straightened out, because this is their power struggles within the party, in the Congress. Okay. They're going through a rebirth. Remember, Neptune is socialism. It's progressive socialism. So we've got Neptune and Saturn are fighting right now. Because look at, they're together. It's the great, remember, Tiananmen Square. We had the Great Wall, or the Berlin Wall fell during a Saturn-Neptune conjunction. If they don't straighten this out, they'll collapse. That's because we've got Saturn-Neptune. I'm thinking of past history. Aries is bold and pioneering. So they got some stuff going on. Pluto reveals what is hidden. They need to regain the public trust in the Congress. Rethink how to communicate and how to message. And within their local communities. 3rd house, again, is local communities, local neighborhoods. You need to get out and speak to the people. You need to get out and start knocking on doors. Listen to me. I act like I know what I'm talking about. But Uranus is telling them that. Uranus is the 3rd house. It's neighborhoods. It's the smaller neighborhoods. So there's your answer, my friend. That's what's going on. This power struggle. I don't know. We're going to see who wins. We're going to see who wins. North Node is transiting in their 12th house, opposing their moon, which is their people. It's their tribe. So we'll see. Okay. So here's Rue. It's an interesting chart, isn't it, girls and guys? That's what I was looking at, was that stellium. It's wild. It's a perfect stellium for a it's a perfect stellium for a country or a group. I mean, it's Capricorn works hard. What I was looking at, the 12th house ruler and where that's located, I think that could be a clue as to what's hidden. Scandals. It's hidden in the 10th house. So if you're looking for Crystal said to look for the 12th house ruler, which is Neptune, and where that's located, I think that could be a clue as to what's hidden, which is in the house of the president. Denise, T square. Yes, there's a T square. 30, 60, 90. There's a T square in their natal chart between Mercury, which is communications, Pluto that sits right at the angle, and the people. So you've got a T square that there's always the people in power. So there's the power, maybe that was in the past, I don't know. Power opposing with the people, and it's how it's communicated from the top. And Cindy says Mars transiting 7th house relationships and partnerships. And that is in a mundane chart. That is also peace treaties, diplomacy. It's diplomacy and open enemies. Open enemies are in that house in mundane, and it's Libra, so it's a Libra ruled house, which is nice. It's balanced, but Mars stirring up the open enemies, their relationships and partnerships with one another, and it's opposing that first house again. That first house is lit up. First and 12th house it's crazy. I think when we look at this, I need to look at the other party too. I'll look at that one. But when we look at this, we can see why people they're unhappy, or they want to know what's going on. It's all there. So my advice to them is to get out, walk your neighborhood, get talking to your people, come down to the people's level. That stellium in Capricorn can make you look cold sometimes. Get down to the neighborhoods, the people's level. Pluto's rogue. Good luck with that, Congress. So I thought it was very interesting. I think it's a super interesting chart. I hope that answers the questions that y'all had about it. To my friends that asked me to do that. I love looking at mundane charts. They just tell so many stories. Watch that eclipse on December 21st when it hits that moon. The people are going to find some things out over in that 12th house of hidden. That's the south node. That's a loss on that south node. So that's what I had. I'm sorry about that other chart, you guys. I hope you could see it more. I'll pull it up next week too. I thought I added it in. Crazy. And remember, Facebook group, Astrology, the series on Facebook. If you're interested in astrologies, please join our group. And I know Miss Keith is in the face of Halloween. Keith Ottersberg from Riff Nation Network, who has a show, Otter's Den, on Monday evenings, 8 p.m. Keith is in the face of Halloween. Please go to his Facebook page, Keith Ottersberg, and vote for him. It's free to vote, and he gets prizes and gets to meet scary people and people that are in movies, and Jamie Lee Curtis, who was in Halloween, and just a great contest. So he's in that contest, and they do a lot for charity. He said great charities. Keith just put the link in the chat. Thank you, Keith. If you're not in the chat and you're listening to us on iHeart or Spotify, please go to Keith Ottersberg on Facebook. And I know that my friend, astrologer Rue Black, who does astrology charts, is running a super special on solar charts. So Rue is on Facebook, Rue Black via Facebook. PM her. She is doing solar chart. What's a solar chart? Solar chart is done every year around your birthday. It gives you the theme of the year, what's ahead for you. It's a great tool for astrologers to use. We love solar return charts to look at the year ahead. So, what? Oh, Lee, the way you said that, Keith gets to meet scary people. Well, it's people that are in not scary people. They're in scary movies. They're scary stars, aren't they, Keith? They're from, like, Jamie Lee Curtis was in Halloween. Not scary people, but scary people that were in scary movies. Actors that were in horror movies. That's what I meant. Whoops. That's what I meant. So, well, I hope that explains some things. Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you for sharing your cool air, Canada. We love you. Thank you. Next week, we will have another case, and Lee can send me that case that she was talking about. Maybe we could showcase that case, Lee. That would be great. Okay, here we go. Keith says it is Kane Hodder. I don't want to sound stupid, but who is Kane Hodder? I know. I don't like scary movies. Vote for Keith. Vote for Keith and be safe. Everybody vote for Keith. You are more than welcome, friends, and have a great week. Next week we'll have another case. Lee, give me that. Tell me what case that is. Send me the chart, and we will showcase that one next week. Oh, Maureen, please, slowly learning. Thank you. You're more than welcome. Keep it simple. If you keep astrology simple, you'll be fine. Keep it simple. Some astrologer says that all the time, and I forget who says it. It's the KISS method. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I forget the other S word. It might be a cuss word. Keep it simple. So have a great week. We are in eclipse season, so be kind. The first eclipse, September 7th, in 4 days, is very magical. So it's a good one. Oh, he was on Friday the 13th. I didn't watch any of those. Those are way too scary for me. He was on Friday the 13th. Was he the bad guy? The guy with the mask? Keep it simple, stupid. That's it. Keep it simple, stupid. That's right. That's right. Keep it simple, stupid. It's true. Keep astrology simple. So take care, everybody. Listen, have a great eclipse, and be safe, be kind, and have a great week. So I will see you guys next week. If you have any charts you want me to look at, like my friend asked me about the Democrat Party, just shoot me an email. I love to look at mundane charts. So have a great week, and thanks for tuning in, you guys. Thank you. Have a great night. Bye-bye.